Welcome back to Doodling with Purpose. We are at an awesome turning point in this class where we're now going to jump straight into reading from Stella. So I cut this one out of a book. Well, actually, I photocopied the book and then I cut it out. What we are looking at here is a scene from the tomb of Senobi, Senbi, minor Egyptian priest. And what we're looking at here is basically a giant scene with two different hieroglyphs. You can see them at the top, bordering the scene. And I want to go through and we're going to identify how to read this. So you see there's one going right to left and another one going left to right. So let's look at some of the vocabulary that we're going to encounter as we try to read this. So first off, we have some verbs. In particular, there are two verbs that you're going to encounter in these. Verbs that we've read before, but as a reminder, we have st, which is to spear, and ama, which is to throw. There's also some noun vocabulary, so we'll remind you of that. So we're going to encounter a couple words like opid for bird, ram, fish, and then that one at the top left there, that is Senbi, Senbi, the name of the person whose tomb it is. And knowing that actually helps a lot because what you're really looking at is you are understanding the reading based on what you're looking at and where it's located. Finally, we have a preposition vocab, and again, a reminder because these are ones we've learned before. So we have in, and are, which if you recall, in is by, and are is at or towards a person, or an animal, or a living thing, not a place, not like going towards a town or towards a tree, if you will. All right, so all of this should be in your vocabulary. Maybe you've made flashcards and you've memorized these words. Finally, we have a pronoun, again, one that we have encountered many, many times, which is ma'acharu, the justified, or literally speaker of truth, which is the Egyptian version of rest in peace, essentially. It's what they put on people's tombs. That means that may they were justified, may they rest in peace. Okay, so let's look at the full scene. And as I mentioned earlier, we really need to look at the fact that this whole scene is a giant determinative. What do you see happening? Well, we know this is Senobi because it's his tomb. And what I've circled there are his hands, or what he's doing with the pole there. So you have to look at the full scene first before you attempt to do the transliteration and reading. So you can see there's a man, what's he doing? Looks like he's spearing fish, right? So consider the vocabulary that we just reviewed. And knowing that this is Senobi's tomb, you can assume that's him. So what's he doing here? He looks like he's maybe throwing a boomerang or a baseball, but he looks like he's throwing. Okay, so let's jump in now and look at the first passage, knowing that they're both in different directions. So you remember hieroglyphs are always read reading towards the animal's face. And in this particular stela, we have two different hieroglyph sentences. One of them is going right to left and the other left to right. Again, based on the animal, so you can see the fish and the foot. Those are good indicators. So we're going to read towards it. So I'm just going to help you work out the first word here, and then based on the vocabulary, see what you can do. All right, so you see that we have to spear is that first word. All right, so take a look. See if you can go back with that vocabulary, and we'll return next week and we'll finish transliterating and translating both of those in full. But you might be able to be in a place where you can read it all on your own. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and it's a good challenge for this week. Let me know if you have any questions. I'll make sure I hit the comments, and good luck on doodling with purpose. See you next week as we continue to read this stela.